for you. So today we're going to talk about EPO in copy. If you've not watched the Copywriting 101 video in the drive, I would highly encourage that you do so. Copywriting is really important when it comes to your website. So formulating the words that you are going to put on your website as a way to connect with the potential clients that land on your website. If you don't have a website or you don't intend on having a website, this would be the same as if you were creating a handout or writing any type of marketing material, or maybe you're using spoken word. So maybe you're going to go to some type of networking event, or you're going to network with physicians or therapists or other practitioners. This would apply as well. So knowing that the words that you say or the words that you write are really important. And so I want to talk about one important piece when it comes to copy. And so it's called EPO. It's empathy, possibility, and opportunity. And so how that breaks down is anytime you put something out there for someone to read, or you're going to put something together that you're going to talk about, you want to make sure that it contains EPO. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that it includes empathy for the person that you're talking to, or for your particular ICA or your niche that you're in. So something like, understanding the very symptoms that they're struggling with. Or, if you're working towards a specific type of person, maybe a fellow entrepreneur, and you would really like to target entrepreneurs for just overall health and wellness, you might talk about the struggles that they're having as far as time constraints or scheduling difficulties, or how do they fit in meal prep or meal plan, or they're too busy to eat. They just get really enthralled in a project and then they forget, mealtime passes, and by the end of the day, they've not really had enough calories to sustain them. So you want to make sure that you're using empathy by letting them know that I understand where you're coming from. I get what you're dealing with. This is exactly what, I can help you with, sort of thing. And we'll kind of get to that. But empathy is just saying, I hear you, I understand you, and I get that what you're struggling with. So you want to make sure that all of your copy always starts with empathy. And then you add in possibility. So possibility is basically helping them see the type of transformation that they can experience. So for instance, let's say if I was talking to a woman that was suffering from consistent bloat, like she couldn't really pinpoint what was causing her bloating. Sometimes it would happen upon waking. Sometimes it would be fine and just come in later the day. Sometimes it was after a meal. Sometimes it wasn't. So she was just having a really hard time pinpointing, where this bloating was coming from. And so empathy might be, obviously I wouldn't say this specifically, but you could say something like, I understand what your struggles are. You're struggling with bloating from sunup to sundown, super random. You're not able to pinpoint where it's coming from. So you would just kind of use what they would say back to you. As you work in a niche, or as you work with an ideal client over and over, you start to hear the same things repeatedly. So for instance, in the Hashimoto's realm that I work in, consistently I hear people say that I feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience, because they don't feel how they know they can feel, and they don't feel how they used to feel. So they feel like they're living in somebody else's body. And I've heard that multiple times. So I might use something like that in my copy to relate to them. So that would be my empathy. And then the possibility would be knowing that you could get that feeling back of who you are, of who you were meant to be, or how you used to feel. So for the woman that was bloating, it could be, not having to worry about when the bloating is going to come on, being able to pinpoint what the source of the problem is so that you no longer have to struggle or deal with bloating. So that would be the possibility. And then the opportunity would be, presenting them a way that they can achieve that goal. So empathy, possibility, and opportunity, EPO. So opportunity is where you introduce what you do and how you can help them. So for instance, if you are, let's say you're writing your homepage of your website, and on the homepage, You're working on building that know, like, and trust factor. So you might start with empathy and say, I work with, I'll just use my example. So I work with women with hypothyroid or Hashimoto's, and I understand that you're struggling with fatigue that seems to persist all day long, regardless of how much sleep you get. You feel like you just can't get through the day. You might be struggling with joint pain that limits your amount of physical activity, or muscle pain that you just can't figure out why, but you really have poor exercise recovery now. You exercise one day and it takes you 3 to 4 days to recover. I might also say, cold, you're feeling cold when everybody else is warm, you have poor body temperature regulation, you feel like your heart rate has slowed, your blood pressure has dropped, and you're really not sure why or how to fix it, but it's frustrating to wear socks in the summer. I might say you're struggling with 10 or more pounds that you've put on without ever changing any type of lifestyle habit. You haven't changed the amount or types of foods that you're consuming. You haven't changed how much physical activity you're doing. You haven't really changed anything, but just the weight kind of came on out of nowhere. With women with Hashimoto's, it typically is a lot more. It could be up to 30 or 40 pounds in a very short period of time. But you might, with empathy, build, look, I hear you. This is exactly what you're struggling with. I totally get it. The possibility is not having to deal with those things. Can you imagine waking up and within 10 minutes of getting up feeling ready and rested and can take charge of the day, getting through the day with plenty of motivation and charge, not needing a nap, not needing to sit down, and then by the time the evening's over, you feel accomplished and ready to take on the next day? Or being able to get back to your old fitness routine, or being able to exercise like you once used to and not have to deal with the joint pain or the muscle pain and needing 3 to 4 days to recover after that exercise activity. You're feeling like you're missing out. That was your stress reliever, and now you can't do that because it hurts. You could say something like that. If it was weight, you could talk a little bit about weight if that's something that you want to focus on. You could say things like, the weight just kind of came out of nowhere, but it's because there's an imbalance in the body. And, how would it feel if you could just let the pounds melt away without really doing much aside from healing the inside of the body, healing those imbalances? So you empathize with the very specific problems that they're struggling with, and then you give them the possibility, help them imagine what it would be like to not have to deal with those. And then the opportunity would be, hey, I'm Sunny Brigham. I'm a clinical and integrative nutritionist, and I help women with Hashimoto's feel the best that they can. I help them lose the weight, eliminate the bloat, reduce the fatigue by helping them correct internal imbalances and changing their relationship with food so that they can work to reduce their antibody numbers. So that would be your opportunity. Depending on what area you're working in or what it is that you're trying to achieve, you can use this EPO in just about everything that you do. If you are, like I said before, if you're at a networking event or anything like that, you can absolutely utilize that information. So it's important that, one, you have a niche. Two, you know who your ideal client is, because then you can create EPO in all of your copy. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you all have an awesome day, and I hope you go out and add in some EPO into your life. Bye.